Hello, everyone. My name is Maria, and I'm the founder and CEO of Ecolens. And techFiesta is our online hackathon platform where we frequently launch hackathons with Web3 companies and protocols. And today is the kickoff session of our hackathon with the Hub. The Hub is a metaverse infrastructure company, but Nicolas will say more about it in the introduction. And we just actually pressed the button on the launch of the hackathon. So everyone who is registered on techFiesta should have gotten an email about the launch of the hackathon, and they can already start hacking. So a few words about us. Ecolens is an educational platform where we provide education for people who want to start working in the blockchain space. And we recently launched our online hackathon platform, techFiesta, where we launch hackathons, as I said, with blockchain companies. We have just concluded the Gnosis Chain hackathon last week. And today we're launching a new hackathon, which is going to go for 3 weeks. And it's going to be something very different that we have done previously. It's a metaverse hackathon, and I'm super excited of what's going to come out of it and what projects we'll see. And this is the first session that we will have. We will have several sessions throughout the hackathon where we will help you build your projects. And in this session, I want to introduce Nicolas Weber, who is one of the co-founders of the Hub DAO. And in today's session, he will present the Hub and what the hackathon is all about, and of course, what the expectations for the projects of the hackathon are. If you have any questions, we're open for questions. You can raise your hand and ask them, or you can write them in the chat here. The submission platform for this hackathon, as I said, is going to be techFiesta. So you have to be registered on techFiesta to submit your projects. We will shortly put here in the chat section the link to the hackathon that just went online. All right, so Nicolas, welcome. And yeah, please introduce yourself, introduce the Hub and the hackathon that we're kicking off together.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Maria, and great to be here and kick off this hackathon with you and the amazing Ecolens ecosystem. Quickly about myself. So I've been in the crypto space since the end of 2016. Started initially with, so to say, the usual personal investing side. I got deeper into technology. You can consider myself as a hybrid between business and tech. And worked with a couple of companies as a consultant when there was this entire private blockchain hype, so to say. I was basically the guy telling the companies not to go down that route. This led me then to, together with a couple of others, kick off Amazing Blocks, where we were the first to tokenize equity, actually, in Liechtenstein back in the last reward asset and security token hype cycle a few years ago. We were also the first to actually have a bankers incorporation ever with ETH as initial capital contribution. And while security tokens and reward asset tokenizations are amazing and interesting, it was kind of like there was just a lot of interest in the start of the metaverse, so to say, hype cycle evolving, which then together with a couple of others led me to establish the Hub, right, formerly known as Metagame Hub. We around 6 months ago changed our name to just the Hub itself, where in a nutshell our vision is to provide infrastructure tooling for gaming and metaverse worlds, which will help any creator, to really have a seamless experience, especially when it comes to investing and building within these worlds, and then allowing their respective, clients, consumers, communities, and ecosystems to experience these worlds in a seamless and smooth fashion, right? So really the target group is any creator from all over the world, right? When it comes to specifically and I'll soon dive a bit deeper into the hub and what we're doing. I just want to generally, raise a couple of points that, I just wanted to share in terms of, the creator economy and really what the vision or the reason also behind this is, and some general topics of reference or guidelines for the hackers, right? I think first of all, like if you really look at the tech applications in general and what shapes the world, it's always about creators, and the metaverse provides, a huge playground in a much more immersive and tangible fashion for creators than it has already been the case. If you connect it even more so with Web3, then the opportunities are just amazing when it comes to opening a new door, a new world, really a new reality, if you wish, for creators, right? And at the end, creators shape the world, right? Sorry, I just had eaten something. So basically, creators shape the world. Let me just drink something. So basically, one other learning is don't eat nuts before a talk. Basically, creators shape the world. So the metaverse provides an amazing opportunity for that, right? Where right now most of our digital experiences are 2D, right? And creation is really about feeling, and not just I don't know, seeing something in a 2D environment. So the more we evolve into 3D experiences within our digital journey, the more also digital creations will become more tangible, more fun, and just more adopted in general, right? So creativity is a key part, and I think that's also what this edition, this hackathon should be about, right? Another thing that also goes hand in hand with this creation, and I think something that is an omnipresent issue, but at the same time also, especially in the time we're living in right now, an omnipresent opportunity, is that if you really kind of see and figure out kind of the direction that we want to take with our creations, whether that's anything, right? I call the creator a developer that's writing code. That's to me a creator, right? It doesn't have to just be a creator of, I don't know, art or something in that direction. In a sense, people posting on social medias are creators, right? Content creators for that, basically. And apart from that, also in general, the creator economy allows us to really focus and navigate toward a world where we can really enjoy what we're doing, but actually get a compensation for that, right? I think we right now live in a time where often and a lot of people work and do things that they just kind of see the financial incentives for, but that's not really providing happiness in life itself, right? So loving what you do is something that goes hand in hand with creativity at the end, so I think that's also a huge opportunity that this new wave of the internet that we're heading into basically allows us and provides us a great journey and path for. So in the words of, so to say, Steve Jobs, stay hungry and foolish, right? Is I think something that basically is essential when it comes to the metaverse economy and this gamified world, and that we're leading towards. Another part that I just wanted to raise quickly is also the focus, right? While being creative is amazing and enjoyable, right? At the same time, focusing is also important, especially when it comes to wanting to achieve something with your creation, right? You can do hundreds of creations, over a short period of time, but most likely it will be pretty random which one of those creations actually succeeds, or if that's one of your goals, right? I mean, it's not all about succeeding or making money with something. At the end, it's about the fun. But at the same time, if you actually want to scale something, a product, you want to have adoption, and focusing is key. So I think while the metaverse provides so many opportunities, focusing on something that aligns with your biggest interests and values is also super important. And aligned with this is also that you need to always think about the users, right? So whatever that you guys come up with in terms of ideas, visions, creations, products, experiences that you may develop throughout this, thinking about the users is essential. And usually your brainstorming sessions around what you actually want to create should start with the user perspective, right? Not kind of, and maybe you're yourself going to be a user, right? And then you can start also from your own subjective kind of perspective. What would I like to do? What would I enjoy? What would I need to further have benefits within this environment, right? Or better navigate through it. But thinking about the users as something that, especially within Web3, is often not thought about, right? We think more about when is the token going to pump, or dump in that sense, rather than thinking about, like actually, is this something that users will need, right? Or need right now, or maybe there's a need that is going to be created, which is also okay. But like thinking about the users is essential, and also kind of a core, yeah, identity that from the Hub side we are heading towards. That for us, really the users are key, and we're not just about like, hey, I don't know, making a quick profit, or we really want to build something sustainable. And with the Hub, as I mentioned in the beginning, our vision is really about, as the name says, being the hub for the metaverse, right? And whether we want to call it, on a side note, the metaverse, the 3D internet, gaming worlds, I don't know, there's hundreds of different descriptions, right, for this. It doesn't really matter what we call it. We all know that our digital experiences are becoming more unified, more ownership based. That's where the Web3 part, and especially the tokenization of digital value, comes into play, as well as more immersive, right? And here with the Hub, we want to be, so to say, at the forefront of this, with a core focus in the beginning on specifically businesses, where a business is also a creator, right? And the thing is always with new technology adoption, that in the beginning it's mainly businesses or institutions that have the adoption. If you look back at the evolution of the personal computers, which most of us probably are joining here or watching these sessions, basically, in the beginning, it was also not retail users that were initially utilizing, or the purchase, the clients of that, right? Or let's say of an Apple or Microsoft. It was more actually institutions and businesses, right? And that's also the go-to-market strategy that we have with the Hub. Here, I'll just quickly share a quick overview. And no worries, you guys will have this also after. So I will share some further information, so you guys can kind of follow on what I mentioned. But basically, yeah, like we have divided in our platform into 3 verticals. So this is the invest vertical, the build vertical, and the experience vertical, right? And here we have infrastructure tools. We actually started with the Hub basically as a, if you want to say it, a decentralized land fund, right? What that means specifically is that initially the vision was just to acquire lands in different worlds, have a decentralized governance thereof, and potentially create some fun experiences, right? Or sell them for a profit, right? However, then we quickly realized the needs, really, right? What is, or the shortcomings of this industry, where this birthed our first tool, which is the Metaverse Explorer Now, which really focuses on providing price transparency. Because the first step that someone makes, and also in our case, how we started, was, hey, we want to purchase assets in these different worlds. However, we don't know what the fair value is. There's a lot of hype back then, especially. There was a lot of hype, right? Right now it's a bit of a bearish environment, but the hype will obviously come back. And people were just kind of trading these lands for crazy amounts of money, right? At times hundreds of thousands. And we were like, no, like we don't want to be part of like such an ecosystem that just trades based on over-the-counter random prices, right? So we developed this AI model that allows you to appraise lands, right? And down the road, also other assets. But lands are really our niche. Where initially it was a simple tool. You could enter your land coordinates, your token ID, and that's it, basically, right? However, this then, really led to the fact where we were like, okay, it was a good start. We got some early traction immediately from especially the Sandbox and Decentraland communities, with around 40,000 requests in the early days per month. But we thought, hey, we need to visualize it further, right? As the metaverse is all about visuals, right? In a sense. So we started integrating our heat map feature, and this then allowed us to accelerate the monthly requests to over 400,000 per month now. So yeah, quite a significant growth over the last 2 years, despite, let's say, the relatively bearish market sentiment, which shows the need for such analytic tools. And yeah, that's where we're at right now. And this is the first vertical of the hub, and a key focus area for those especially that are interested in analytics and AI, right? Then basically after we started with this tool, and we kind of brought the first version to market, we also saw the shortcomings when it comes to building, especially as we were heavily focusing also on Decentraland, and still are also focusing on Decentraland, but also other worlds. We try to always be as agnostic as possible, but specifically Decentraland also required a builder tool, which allows you to basically, bypass writing a lot of lines of code in a simple and smooth way, which led us to build our editor, right? Which essentially, the vision is to have a plug and play builder that allows you to create and deploy scenes, assets, and experiences across many different worlds. So you don't have to limit yourself to building just in one world. But in the beginning, we really focused it and narrowed it down to Decentraland, because that's where the biggest need was, right? And here, basically, we got a lot of great support from the Decentraland communities. We got a lot of also funding from the Decentraland teams, which are quite open to support also open source initiatives, such as the Builder is the case. And basically, this was the first, so to say, infrastructure layer and pillar, right, that we evolved towards. And the third was really about, hey, okay, you invested into a land, you acquired a land somewhere, you build something on top. But actually, now what are you going to do, right? It all comes down to experiencing, to going to that land, having fun, socializing, playing games, acquiring assets, betting, going to a casino, anything that you already do in a 2D internet journey, so to say, if you wish, right? At some point will happen on those lands, right? And we are right now really at the very early stage of this. So it's a huge opportunity to position yourself. And therefore, for these experiences, you need an identity that you can utilize to travel across different worlds, just like you go from website A to B at this moment, right? You need to be able to go from land A to land B interoperably, right? When it comes to metadata, as well as when it comes to blockchain data, right? So because you obviously want to own your identity, or at least I hope people will want to own their identity. Sadly, a lot of people don't really know about this, or are not yet educated about really the benefits, but that's something obviously we all within Web3 want to change, right? So then we started developing our avatar module, which essentially you can see it as a metaverse passport, right? That's also the vision that we have with this, where it will allow anyone to travel agnostically across different worlds on different blockchains, within, so to say, all these virtual environments. And that's kind of the 3 infrastructure tool layers. We also have a fourth layer upcoming, which will more focus on mobile. But that's not in that sense relevant for this hackathon. So I'll keep it, so to say, focused on those 3. I also prepared a couple of suggestions, actually, where you guys, and I will share this board with you after, where you guys can have some, just some use case examples, right, in terms of what you can build, what you can do, and what may be able to be something that you guys focus on during this hackathon. I divided it into 3 different pillars, right? As you've seen, the Metaverse Explorer, so to say the data and AI track, the avatar generator, the, if you wish, identity track, and the DCL edit, the building track, right? When it comes to the Metaverse Explorer specifically, and I divided generally it always into expansion of worlds and expansion of features in general, but at the end, it's all features, right, that are added. In terms of the Metaverse Explorer, core examples or focus areas that you guys could look into is especially integrating Web2 worlds, right? Sometimes we tend to, within the Web3 space and metaverse economy, tend to forget that most of the internet traction is actually happening on Web2, as everything we're doing here at the moment is Web2 as well, right? So the metaverse actually right now is taking place mainly in Web2, specifically Roblox and Fortnite are huge, and they are part of the metaverse. It's not something like completely siloed, or they are siloed, but it's not something that is a different world or whatever, right? It is part of the whole like metaverse vision. However, it is not having the Web3, let's say, layer in terms of tokenization, especially, right? However, it could be interesting, obviously, to integrate also those type of worlds and respectively assets, maybe not lands as they're not there, but other assets, right? There would kind of rely on your creativity to think about how it would make sense to actually integrate worlds like Roblox and Fortnite there, especially since one of the key visions that we also have with the Explorer will be eventually that it does not only help you to have the fair value of an asset, right, like lands, but actually to just kind of, navigate generally through the metaverse economy where, hey, like you want to know what's going on in this world or that world. It doesn't matter if it's Web2 or Web3. You want to know where to purchase land more based on, let's say, soft facts, like characteristics such as, I don't know, is it a neighbor to this brand, right? Like when there was this hype around the sandbox in the last bull market, everyone wanted to be neighbors with Adidas or Snoop Dogg and these type of IPs, right, that were entering those worlds. So those type of more soft factors may be also interesting, right, in terms of the vision. So obviously, such an integration into Roblox or Fortnite could be very interesting, right? Also, other Web3 worlds, right, that we already are thinking about, like spatial, which is more Web 2.5 if you wish, but still is super interesting and very highly in demand. Or other side, right? So the Bored Ape Yacht metaverse ecosystem. So that could be something to look into. Apart from that, in terms of the features, in-app land purchases could be an interesting feature to look into. Basically that you don't only get the data, but you actually are able to purchase those lands and assets. A search engine integration, which kind of goes hand in hand with what I've just recently mentioned in regards to kind of these characteristics that you may look for, what landscape, what functionalities, what neighbors, right? As well as user data, right? So a lot of the brands, especially in companies positioning themselves, obviously want to know what are my communities, my clients doing, right? Whilst, of course, maintaining a degree of privacy and data ownership. That's really important, but still user data will always be relevant, even in a more conscious, let's say, data environment. At least we hope to achieve by integrating Web3 into that narrative. So that's just a couple of examples there. Then in terms of the avatar generator, in terms of the world expansion, right now we are focusing on the VRM format. If you don't know what VRM is, you can just Google it. It's pretty common. And it basically allows you to utilize these avatars in over 200 worlds at the moment that adopt the VRM format, right? Which is most likely going to be one of the most adopted or the most adopted formats when it comes to such use cases. However, of course, there's also other formats. So integrating that into the avatar generator could be a very interesting use case to focus on in terms of developing within this infrastructure tool track, as well as also Web2 worlds, right? Utilizing those avatars into Web2 worlds could be a very interesting use case to focus on with your development. Other feature expansions could be kind of attaching a loyalty system, right? Or a gamified reputation system to the avatars, which is something that generally also from our side, we are definitely looking into improving the UX. If you have any ideas where it can go beyond, right now it's a B2B tool, right? But if you have any ideas or individual campaigns that you think about could be interesting more for retail users, that's obviously interesting, as well as potentially a Chainlink cross-chain interoperability protocol integration that allows more chain agnostic use cases, or just deploying the avatar module in other chains than, for instance, the EVM environment, right? And then when it comes to the editor, basically also world expansion and feature expansion are two things to consider in terms of the world expansion. The editor right now is focusing mainly on Decentraland. So for instance, going beyond Decentraland with the universal scene description format could be interesting. It's something definitely to also look into. It's kind of like VRM, focusing on standardizing the way we engage within these ecosystems, and to allow interoperability at the end when it comes to the metadata. The NVIDIA Omniverse is something very interesting, as well as potentially a Web2, Web3 bridge, right? Because that's going to be very high in demand. So a very, very interesting use case that people can travel from those Web2 and Web3 worlds / build basically within both, right? And deploy agnostically. In terms of other features, potentially AI building. So imagine maybe the tool DALL-E, right, from OpenAI, that allows you to basically generate pictures at the end, right? 2D images and other more, if you wish, quote unquote, creative artworks. So basically, in that sense, potentially something like this, an integration could be interesting to look into more. Again, also CCIP. So because as paradox as it is, the metaverse itself still needs to be tokenized, right? And allowing those scenes and assets to be deployed across different chains, creating your own worlds with the builders, right? So that it's not limited to one or a couple of known worlds, right? But actually just creating your own world, why not, right? As well as other UX improvements that you guys think could be relevant, right? As you obviously, in that sense, as a developer, are also user and may have a different perspective, right? But these are all just examples, right? It's not like something that, I don't know, is the only things that we are looking for in terms of interesting developments on top of our tools. This just to kind of help you look into different areas or use cases, right? So I really invite you to think unbiased, not really just with this specific or with these specific cases, but really just think about what is something that you guys would like to build. You could also build, for instance, with the editor, an experience itself. You could build your individual avatar campaign, right, with some characters or story that you guys come up with or like. And also within the Explorer side, there could be a lot of other opportunities, right? So that's a quick of a summary in terms of the different verticals and possibilities there. In terms of the process, right? So the editor is fully open source, so you can basically directly start with this. The other two tools, as they are more B2B focused, right? They are not fully open source. So our team has prepared a form where you can basically fill out information with the use case that you guys want to build, and then we will invite you to our in-house code base, and you will be able to work directly with also have some guidance from our in-house team, right? So it kind of depends on which direction or track you guys want to focus on. And we, from our side, we're just happy to see the amazing results and projects that you guys will work on. I will also post link actually in Zoom, so you guys will be able to check this out, right? And obviously, if there's any questions, I'm here to help and answer. But yeah, that's it from my side. Really excited to see the amazing results, and yeah, looking forward to the coming weeks.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Nicolas. And perfect, thanks. So I just posted the link to the hackathon. And I want to share my screen, guys, just to show you a little bit for the ones that are on techFiesta for the first time. I want to show you how to go about it. Right, so here is the link to that's basically the landing page for the Hub's Metaverse Innovation Challenge. That's the name of our hackathon. Here you can see all the key data. And basically, here's the overview of the problem statement, which Nicolas just explained very thoroughly. This session will be also recorded, and we'll include it in this description here, so you can see it again, watch it again. And for everyone that is not participating tonight, they can also see it and learn everything that Nicolas explained. You have here all the links for documentation and resources. Here is the explanation of the bounties and the submission requirements. So as Nicolas said, for some things you will need to get access. Nicolas, you just mentioned a form. So maybe your team can give us the form so we can include it here, because what Lubna told us is just to include her email, but yeah, we can adjust this in the description when you send me the form. And we have set up further hackathon events, as I mentioned in the beginning of September. During this session, we'll discuss your ideas, guys. So you can just pitch your ideas, and the Hub will give you some update about these ideas, some feedback. So basically, you can pitch the ideas, and you can hear if these ideas are what the Hub is expecting to see. They will also give you ideas how to build them, so how to basically build these projects, if there are some tools that you can use or some shortcuts that you can take, some similar projects that you can learn from, that you can research. So this is a session basically that can help you build the idea in a way that it's really helpful for the Hub's ecosystem. And of course, to help you build it in a smart way, if they can help you with some resources. Then we'll have a technical workshop. The date, the link is still not published. So when it is published, you can see it here on the landing page. And we'll have a hackathon closing ceremony when the results of the hackathon are evaluated. In order to form teams, if you don't have a team yet, and if you want to work in a team, you can join the Discord server of techFiesta, where we have the Hub Hackathon channel, and you can form teams there, or you can use our Telegram group, where you can also search for a partner and form a team. So how do you submit? You have to click here on participate now. And then you have to basically register on techFiesta. So let me do this quickly. Let me think if I'm registered. I actually have to register as a user here. So let me just quickly do that, and then I'll quickly share my screen to show you how it looks like. I think I have an account. I just have to confirm it. Yep. All right. So let me share my screen again. Basically, that's my dashboard as a user, right? So I can click on join hackathons, and then I see here the Hub Metaverse Innovation Challenge, where I can click, and then I need to connect my wallet in order to join it. The reason to connect your wallet is that in the end, you will receive your rewards on chain, so directly into your wallet in the MGH token on the Polygon network. So by connecting your wallet, we'll have this data, and then the hub can pay you directly to your wallet. Yeah, so you have to connect your wallet, and then you'll see a screen here where you can submit your result. So a GitHub link to what you have built. Yeah, so basically this is from the administrative point of view. Nicolas, we forgot to mention something super cool that you're creating, which is the hackathon participation token. I just got the info for that. Do you want me to talk about it, or do you want to go?
Sure, go ahead.
All right, so let me pull up the info, and then because I just received it. So the Hub is creating the Hub and techFiesta Hackathon participation token. So the benefits that you will get from this token is VIP access to product launches. So with your token, you'll gain early and exclusive access to the Hub's groundbreaking product launches. And you can be the first to try all the new product releases from the Hub and be rewarded as an early tester. You will also have unlimited access to the metaverse. So from the Explorer that Nicolas presented, you'll get lifetime free access to the Hub's Metaverse Explorer, and you'll also be on the NFT drop whitelist. So you'll get whitelisted to all the future NFT drops by the Hub DAO. And also you'll get free entry to all metaverse seminars hosted by the Hub. So if you participate in the hackathon, you'll get this token, and it will provide you all these benefits, which is super cool. So, I'm not a developer, but maybe I can submit something so I can get access to this,
For sure.
token. All right. Yeah, so guys, this is all the information that we believe is important for this hackathon. If you have any questions, please unmute yourself and ask them, or you can ask them in the chat. Do we have any questions? Okay, I think there are no questions. So thanks so much, everyone, for participating. This session is recorded and will be published on the landing page of the hackathon. Thank you, Nicolas, for your time and for presenting us the Hub. And yeah, guys, I'm looking forward to your projects, and happy hacking.
Thank you for the invite. Looking forward.
Someone's asking, yeah, you'll be able to ask Nicolas questions after this session. Sorry. Yeah, so
Yes.
just join the Discord channel or the Telegram group, and we're open for questions all the time. So thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.